on today.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, we have the marathon, and if my neighbor, before she goes to church, she said, "You want to meet me down at the corner?" And I said, "I've got a Zoom till 9." And she said, "Well, I'm leaving at 9." So anyway, that's okay,
Aw,
because I didn't want to miss you.
yeah. Aw, that's so nice.
Well, I've
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this.
You enjoying it?
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
good. I'm happy. That's good. That
And
sounds
I'm doing,
good.
there's a lady, do you know Kathy Hicks? Did you meet Kathy Hicks at all? I met her one time through Andrea's summit. She's doing a detox starting tomorrow,
All right.
but a 10-day, but it's whole body. It's your exercise for lot, exercise,
Yes,
food. But when I looked at the food, it was very like I'm eating now. It's like,
exactly.
I can do
Yeah.
that. I can do that.
Yes.
It's not the Ayurvedic way, it's not
You,
like you're missing
you
out on a lot. So I'm
I
going to
think
try that.
you're the expert, Wendy.
Huh?
You are already expert on Wendy. You know
Yeah.
what feels good. So that's great.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is what we
I've
want to
already
do.
walked 22 miles this month.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Excellent. Yeah, we will talk about movement today. So today will be kind of, I will just recap, and if there are any questions, if you can have, this will be kind of, this is the purpose of this session. So I put this here. Hi, Mindy.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Radka.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So happy Sunday, everyone. Today is kind of session when we connect the dots. I'm sure you connect the dots before already. And I will just recap a few things, not everything, because obviously we went through a lot. But I will just, we mentioned the circadian rhythm, which is really important. Is the light-dark cycle. It's whatever it is that you have issue with, you have to start with this holistic approach. It's not just one thing will not solve the problem. So I have it so many times, like people saying, well, I cut sugar, but I didn't get any results. It's so often, but they're like, how you do this and what it means to cut sugar. Cut sugar means as well, cut gluten, because at the end of the day, it's all sugar too, and do the other stuff that we talk about it this week. And so the seeing the light in the morning, it's really, if you can do that. I know it can be just 5 minutes. If you have to wake up earlier, 5 minutes every day, it will be so worth it, because your body will feel better. You'll be more ready for the day, and your organs will be working more properly. Your liver, because, and we know that it's important for many physiological function, not only the sleep wake patterns, but as well for the melatonin production influences immune defense reaction. That's what I told you, my story. So I'm very sensitive to like, if my sleep is really deteriorated, I go sick. I get sick. So this is my weak point. And I know that I learned that in the hard way. Obviously, it's better if we don't learn hard way. If we know this, because we very often this is the case, because melatonin really, if its production is at night, because melatonin goes up at night when we go to sleep, so at around midnight should be high, and then in the morning goes down, and cortisol should be up. But if you go to bed too late, you don't have enough sleep, all these hormonal disbalance is damaged, and then it really influences the immune defense functions, such as antioxidation, even blood glucose regulation. As I told you, a vicious cycle. You have bad night, you crave more, and then when you crave more, you eat more, and then again this food will cause that you have bad night sleep. So it's all connected. And as well, this sleep cycle as well influence the blood coagulation enzyme system and bone metabolism. Women's in postmenopausal, perimenopausal, they have osteoporosis, they have issues with the bone health. So, and as well, it influences cell multiplication, which we need always to make new cells, because we have to recycle. That's why I told you the fasting is important, especially in connection with the light. We should be really not eating when the sun is down. We should just not be eating. And when this is not in sync, we can really be in trouble. So really, the one thing that I really want to mention again is really making sure to generate proper rhythm. be out when the sun rises and be out when it's sunset, because it's different light, and the brain knows like the wavelength. Obviously, we can do so much damage these days because we have electricity on. We have so many, tablets and phones and all that. So I will talk about it when I talk about sleep. But as well, I want to mention, never look to the sun straight. Never, because that's, especially when it's painful, because that you can really damage your retina. So it's not a point to look at the sun. The point is to get light, not sun, but light. It's a sunlight, but not straight sunshine to your eye, because this will really damage your retina. So we want really balancing the secretion of cortisol and melatonin. That's basically the whole point. And because that influence all the processes in the body that we need to really function properly. And so avoid any light exposure between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. This is that's why the night shift workers now, I think WHO said that this is I don't know many details, but I read it, that it's a really huge risk factor for many chronic diseases. So it's something that we have to all work on, because we have long to-do list. We all using phones, and it's the best not to use a phone really before you go to bed. So we go to bed, especially children, because they're much more sensitive. And we know now with the teenagers, it's really, we have epidemic, and I'm very worried, because like we don't do, seems that everybody has a phone with these teenage kids, and they all have it before they go to bed. And this is really damaging so much their health. And the thing is that, as I told you the other day, that our body is so resilient, that it's a gift, but as well, it's a curse, because we can go so long without noticing any problems. So I'm worried that like we will hit the wall at some point, because then we will say, okay, well, this we cannot carry on and continue like this, because it's not only the eye, the eyesight. We know that now the kids are much more myopic, like they need glasses. Little kids, because of they're not doing the exercise, like looking in a distance and looking in a short distance. So that's why we're doing the 20 every 20 minutes, look for 20 seconds to the thing that is 20 what is it, 20 meters away, or basically far, every 20 minutes. If you work in a computer, this will really help you tremendously. I sometimes when I'm really writing something and I'm focusing, and I'm just like my eyes are only on computer, then you can have migraine, you can have really the eye strain. And this is just look out, look at the sky, you might get inspiration. Sometimes we can't do that. So it's good if you have a window and you can look outside. If you don't have window, look at least somewhere in the room. And if you're looking in the wall, just turn around and look. It's really important, because our eyesight will deteriorate much faster. Okay, so I see that there's some noise. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. I think it's fine. Okay, and so so there were some questions. I will get to it in a minute. So we talk about inflammation. We know that, as I said, I didn't talk how harmful sugar is, because you all know it. And the choice that you are here, basically you're aware of this. So I think we can skip it, but it's basically really is detrimental for all aspects of health, from physical to mental and emotional, because it influences not only the biochemistry and physiology in our body, but as well the gut microbiome, the gut bugs that we need to proper function. So that's why we need to have anti-inflammatory diet, the rich in PFF, protein, fat, and fiber, especially the fiber we need for the gut microbiome and the gut microbiota. Those are the microbes, because these microbes are running the show in the body. They help us to create metabolites, that they influence all the processes. That's a million in the body every second. So really start eating more plants. It's really good. Variety is key. So choose a rainbow of fruits and veggies and legumes, a lot of colorful foods, and really antioxidants, so you get enough. And as I told you, the other session, we were talking about oxidative stress and antioxidant. And when we have disproportion, when it's not balanced, the free radicals and the antioxidant, then we can age fast, and we can have more kind of symptoms. We can develop disease. So we always want to have a lot of antioxidant, so we can help prevent and delay and repair some type of the cell and tissue damage, because we have, first is the cell damage, then is the tissue damage, then is the organ damage, and then we have the symptoms. So you see how far before we noticing, it's like the whole organ and whole, like, so this is how far we can go before we're noticing it. So that's why it's important to really tune in the body, see body as a, again, sacred temple, our temple that's carrying us everywhere. And we want to be and choose longevity. And this is the way to do that. So eat berries, eat leafy greens, beets, avocados, all the food that you can find that grows around your area that you live. As well, omega-3 fatty acids. I didn't talk much about fats. This is not the purpose of this workshop, but I teach in my programs really comprehensive about fats, because it's just so important. They have the omega-3 fatty acids play significant role in regulating your body inflammatory process. So choose salmon, choose mackerel. If you don't eat fish, choose the seaweed. All these seaweed are great. And if you need to buy some on my website, so if you go on my Sugar Stop and you go to store, I'm affiliate with Fullscript, and there are some, this is where I buy my supplements, and they have for Carlson, and they are like really good ones. So because I don't trust, sometimes they producing the supplements and they can be rancid, the oil, or just you don't have control of it. But this companies that we have there are really good. And so really try to minimize the, again, is not, we don't never want perfection. You know, I have some biscuit this morning. I didn't really want it because it doesn't feel good now. Like I really feel like, but I have some biscuit because children has some party, and there was I had to have biscuit just to make them happy. And but it influenced, like if you really clean up your body, you feel it. But it's not about never have a biscuit and be like rigid and be like, no, have like you know, be obsessed. No, it's about live your life, and it's life. Sometimes you have a biscuit, it's fine. It's about 80-20, the, you know, Pareto principle, that even though it's different, Pareto principle is 20% will get you where you want to be. This is more like 80% if you have healthy meals, and 20% if you will have you know, sometimes on your birthday you will have proper cake, and you will drink champagne and the New Year's Eve, or you know, holiday, or whatever situation. Is not about never having it. But the point is, I'm trying to make that we are all our own, we have all guidance within us. We have that the body wisdom is so huge, so rich. We don't need to look anywhere else. You don't need to compare yourself with any of your friends, and even your family members. Because I told you, my sister, she did my program, and she was craving salty food, like, you know, chips and so all these things. I never crave these things. I always crave chocolate. And so, like, even we are obviously similar, we are different in this. So you have to only look back inside to yourself. Even if it's twins, we have the twin study that, like, you can create so much you know, diversity, that you will just have two different bodies, even if genetics is identical. So we really can influence a lot of things. So if you eat processed food, you know, sugar sweetened cereals, drinks, anything deep fried, or it's very bad. It will be even pastries, unfortunately, which I love, croissants. It's very pro-inflammatory, so it will be best to avoid. But really, with little meal prep, you can really choose and avoid these inflammation-inducing foods, and really choose more plant-rich food. And so that was kind of on a food front. This is really like fast to tell you what we were going through. But now the second point I want to mention. So we mentioned the light, we mentioned the food, The drink, of course, I will not go back because I put some video about water and hydration separately in the Facebook group. But it's super important that we drink, because Roxanne asked me yesterday about cravings, and that's something that cravings it's complex. It's so complex that it's just so many points. I mentioned few yesterday, but it could be a nutrient deficiency. It could be hydration. It could be that we don't have enough muscles. Muscles are something that we don't talk about enough. We always talk about weight, but the point is that we have to really grow muscles to not only to really gain a longevity and be healthier, but as well, like this will help us as well with cravings. So if you have anything that you can just do and move, because you know, we are not we all should be thinking about exercise more, but why don't we? This first thing I want to mention is that when you will choose healthier meals, you will be closer to your ideal weight. You will have easier time, and you will choose to move. This is how this is the formula. But in general, even when we have best intentions, we struggle to motivate ourselves to work out sometimes. Let's face it, it's like there is almost always more powerful temptation to do something else, you know, anything than workout. I mean, we have to a special sheet. It's like we seeing this as a chore, and this is really if we look from evolutionary perspective, we are predisposed to this because we want to conserve energy. And our ancestors, they exerted so much energy hunting and gathering, and they really needed this intentional rest in between. So that's why it's not your fault. It's not your fault, but because of this, it's not our natural inclination for exercise and for health alone. So we're not motivated enough. But I'm telling you that if you will start doing this, so I can again I can tell you stories from my clients, because there are many, and they all say, like I tell you, one's now pop up in my head. She said, I never moved, and now I move all the time. One client, she started playing tennis. She never did anything, any sport, and she started playing tennis. I did. I always used to run before, and I stopped, and it was really hard to go back. But when you start doing something little by little, you will just get used to it. The body will just need it. It will feel so good, because you will get these endorphins and this good feel hormones. It actually will be something that you will really look forward to do that. But if we look to our ancestors, they really had to conserve the energy when they could, because they didn't have the excess of food that we have now. You know, the calories, they burn the calories when they were moving. So that's why they have different problems. They didn't have enough food, and they moved too much. Now we have too much food, and we don't move. So we don't longer have this problem. And so our instinct is to save energy. Again, no blame, no shame. No, we don't want these feelings. We want positive feelings, and we want to just generally be positive, because this is the only way how we can really grow and feel good about ourselves, and in general just enjoy life, because life is fantastic. This our human experience. So that's why it's not your fault. It's just our genetic, so to say. And so we have to encourage our really, you know, our kind of movement, because generally we live in a world that encourages actually inactivity. Just think of how much you spend sitting in a vehicle, in a car, getting from place to place, you know, and we sit while working. That's why I always choose to stand if I can. Our downtime, it's always centered around watching TV, or, you know, anything that we go with friends, we sitting, you know. Sometimes we go with friends and we go for walk, which is fantastic. But I just want to tell you that if you feel bad about yourself, so don't be too hard on yourself for not working too hard on workout, because it's something that it's not we're not built that way. But It's not now our natural instinct to do so, but we have to do it for our health because we don't have it naturally. Like we don't gather, we're not hunter-gatherer. So that's why. And we know from studies that regular physical activity has been shown to reduce massively morbidity and mortality. So not only that, but mortality as well of many chronic diseases, such as heart disease, coronary heart disease, so heart attack, diabetes, colon cancer, hip fracture, high blood pressure, breast and colon and endometrial and ovarian cancer. So it's all these, and I didn't list all of them. So it's really time to think differently about physical activity. And so for start, this is not about like you go to gym and now you go crazy, go every day and it's like, oh, no, just try to consider exercise something that it's not just sitting down or lying down. So if you're watching telly or you're doing something, just try to stand up and either do the step thing that Wendy was showing, or you can have a ball, like ball that I'm sitting or I'm lying, or so any movement is exercise. From so anything from doing chores around the house to walking around your block, or so any movement is really helpful. And therefore you don't need to go to gym for any physical activity. You can do really like press ups against the wall as much as like you are you basically using your muscle. Even standing is already not sitting and you're using your muscles. So you don't have to go to do CrossFit or spend hours on a treadmill. This is not a point. And you know, so no, you know now the importance of exercising for health, because we can really prevent many diseases. So it's really, and you as well feel better. So even in the beginning, we might see it as a chore, and we have to, you know, write down and track it and so on. It will become natural, and you will like to do that because it feels good. Same like with anything else. Hang on, how I should do this. There is some, I don't know how you can mute guys yourself. Oh, here, okay, sorry. Yeah, I think, yeah, I did. So really the key is finding something that you enjoy and do it every day. Same like with, it's really same approach to anything. Same with the breathing. You see stress coming, breathe. It's 30 seconds, literally. And you will not react, but you will respond with calm mind, calm, like the energy. You will conserve energy when you do it this way, because energy drainers are stress, eating too much sugar, not moving enough, because we basically, the body is like going down and down and down with low, like energy goes down the slope. So but the stress is huge, and that's why, and a movement, it helps well with the stress. So you can do gardening, you can dance. Now kids were begging me for so many years that I said no to it, but finally they have Just Dance. And so this morning we were dancing. I loved it. It was so good. We had fun. Of course I lost. They won today. But it's like, it's not about going to do something serious. It's just about doing really things around the house. Like you can go swim, yes, you can do the walk with the dog. And if you go a little bit fast, that your heart is racing a bit faster, this will be fantastic. Bike riding is great. The options are endless. Anything that brings some movement will do. And really, there's extensive research about physical activity. There was a review published actually a few years ago in International Journal of Clinical Practice that reports that apart from not smoking, being physically active is most powerful lifestyle choice that we can do to really improve our health. So, and it goes together. Again, if you move more, you will have less cravings, you will feel better about yourself, you will build muscles, and we need muscles. Muscles is something that we don't talk about. I don't talk about sarcopenia, this short course, but I talk about it in my courses, in my programs, because it's so important. Sarcopenia is something that we don't want to have. We want to be strong. going to 60, going to 70, going to 80. We can do that. So it's something that, but we don't. So we have to choose to go this way, and really, again, choose the longevity, because that's what will push you do this every single day, because it will feel good. And when it feels good, you will keep doing it. That's why it's great to have these goals, you know, be more confident and lose weight and have more energy. It's all fantastic. But I'm just telling you that just if you didn't look at the session when we talk about changing the habits and what is the difference between change and transformation, have a look at it, because it will make you think. As well, the session yesterday when we did the visualization, you basically have to go to your unconscious mind and really see what's there, because you might be surprised. And always listen to your body, because the body never lies. And we know that from studies. You know, this kind of, we call it instinct. Nobody believes in instinct, but we know from studies that they did some experiments that so there were people playing with cards, and they took, I think, 3 or 4 the types of the card out. So it was like there was, I think, no, I don't know what was it, but exactly. But basically, when you were playing, it's like 4 fours, like a lot of numbers that's like you never get normally. But they, you know how many they were? I think they were playing for like more than 10 rounds before someone said, this is not right. This something is wrong with these cards. Even they think that in the beginning, we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust this instinct when we look at some things like, and you know, sometimes you say to yourself, you know, I knew it, this will happen. This is just us ignoring our wisdom, because we know that, you know, listen to your stomach, listen to your heart. It's all these things, they have a clue, and even our brain has a clue. They talking now about second brain, that the gut is, because we know that and the heart, I don't if you want more know about the heart, there is a huge science about the heart, and how sometimes we have a clue before even we see something with our eyes. It's like it's really amazing, and it works. This is not just some fluff. It's really hardcore science. And so this is something that we have to really look at, and just trust always our body, what we have to do for answers. And not because sometimes people tell me, well, I feel like I need to eat chocolate. No, not like this. So that's just your hormonal disbalance calling. I mean, when you do all this, like what's like deep unconscious, that we know that it's there, and it's the guiding light that we can have, and it's for us. It's not for anybody else. It's for us, and that's what really the physical activity help us, because we will make all these processes in the body working more efficiently. Nutrition will help us to do that. Sleep will help us to do that. The circadian rhythm will help us to do that. So you see how it's all connected, and how we can't just do one thing. And so again, any activity we'll do, and just key is just sticking to it, to the exercise. So, and really, the point is to find something that you want to do and do it every day, like with anything really, with walking, or with any habits we're talking about here, lifestyle wise. Like going to sleep. So just mention the sleep now. Same applies for sleep. Same applies for nutrition. We basically want this daily routine, daily little practices that we will do, that will come our second nature. We will not even think about it. We will not think about that we will not have water first thing in the morning. What will happen is that when you will not have it, you say, oh, I feel I didn't have the water in the morning. Like every morning, I must have my water with lemon. And if I don't have it, I feel it. I feel it on my skin. The skin doesn't look like that hydrated. I feel it, or I'm more tired. It's amazing how you find what really works for you well. And same is with exercise. Same is with if we like locked in the house, like during COVID. That's why people have so much problem with sleep, because we were all suddenly indoor, and people who are really very sensitive and more kind of have this yeah, they're more just sensitive to it. They pay price. So it's important to go out. And as you can see, today is sunny here. I'm happy because it's not very many sunny days in winter here. So so that's that. And now sleep is something I want to mention as well, because this is we feel like we sometimes feel shameful that we need to say, well, I have to go home, I need to sleep. I feel shameful if I say, well, I need at least 7 hours or 8 hours to sleep. But we have to change this, because this is not serving us. We have to have sleep, because we know from studies how sleep is important, not only for metabolic health, but for everything, for overall health. Sleep deprivation is linked to memory issues, trouble concentrating, mood changes, a weakened immunity, high blood pressure, weight gain, and really the increase of risk of diabetes and heart disease. So we know that sleep is absolutely critical. And I told you the story last time. I think I didn't tell you this time, but there's this, for someone who has breathing with the mouth, the taping, it's just so good. And I said it last time, but with my dad, because it's not something that as a clinician, I don't suggest people to tape mouth, because you have to do exams, and like if they can do it, because sometimes the septum is damaged, so you have to fix the septum so you can have proper, you can breathe properly. But I said to my dad, because he was breathing with mouth, and he said, we didn't talk about it, I just suggested it to him, and he tried, and it was weird. I said, oh, this is weird. But because he slept better a few nights when he did it, he just continued. And I talked with him now, like it's now 6 months ago. I don't know how, it's like really a few months ago he started doing it when we talk about it. And he came to me himself, and he said, you know what, I cannot sleep without a tape. Sometimes it falls off and I put it back when I wake up, but I feel like my sleep is much better. I feel more energized, and it's like, this is the little thing. And it's extensive studies about this, how mouth breathers actually this is really bad for brain, especially if someone has genetic to be more susceptible for the neurodegenerative diseases like dementia, like Alzheimer, or any like really it's not good for anyone. And as well, I mentioned it last time, I mentioned it today again, how detrimental it is, because in Stanford they did a study, they did experiment, and they put, because they were doing this experiment in the lab when all the professors were working, and so they put all these guys on experiment that they block their nose so they can only breathe with mouth, like day and night. They had to stop the experiment in 2 weeks because it was so their health deteriorated so much, and it will be inhuman. So they have to stop the experiment. So it's like so profound. How important is like the sleep, but as well how everything else is linked to it. That you can't fall asleep if your head is full of thoughts. We cannot fall asleep if the room is too hot. We cannot fall asleep if our stomach is too full, because this is another problem with people when they wake up at 2 or 3 at night. Like if you're waking up at 3 at night and you have to go to the bathroom, or just you wake up, it's your liver is still working, and you're just eating too much and you're eating too late. Like this is the obviously it can be anything else, like I'm just generalizing here, but very often people who wake up at night at 2 to 3 or 1 till 3 at night, this can be the issue. So that's why the fasting really can take place and can help as well with sleep. That's why it's so connected. You can't just like cut sugar, like people thinking, and it's like, oh, nothing happened, doesn't work for me. No, it's like it's the whole picture, and putting each little puzzle in there. As well, the self-talk, it's like I mentioned it as well yesterday. It's not about because, oh, I'm feeling fat, I want to change this. No, it's because this is not the negative talk. We want the positive talk. because I love my body so much. I love my face so much. That's why I will take care of it no matter what. And this is the shift. And I'm telling you only that because I lived it myself. I had rosacea, which is really skin disease. When my face was all red, it was inflamed. I look awful, and I could not look at myself in the mirror. And I really hate myself so much. And I would never, like, you can't heal yourself. You cannot if you have this feeling, because of course, this is not only, you don't need to even say to yourself, you feel it. And when you feel it, it's imagine that every feeling has physiology and biology of chemicals inside your body. So even if you have fight with someone and you don't like solve it, you carrying, and again, the cortisol goes up. So every morning I woke up, my cortisol was like, and I just, it was just so bad until I understood that first I have to start loving me as I am with what I am. That's why someone asked me, what is your like goals for 2023? And I don't have goals. I just want to be, of course I do. I need to work on my sleep more. I like to have more time with my husband and my kids. I like all these things, of course. But really, I just want to be content and peace with what is. And if you take it from this angle and this end, whatever you do, you will succeed, because it will be working. I don't know how to explain and put it in words, but it's just, that's why I'm telling you my story, because I am a typical example of someone, like, as I said, something that you don't like about yourself, you can never change it. Even if you change it, if I heal myself, my skin, it will come back if I do something out of order. That's what I mean. That's why we have to change on like ground level. And that's where our self-love and seeing the body as a sacred temple take place. And that's, we can like build on it. And yes, sugar is important, absolutely. But this is where we start. And that's why it was like, actually the Lisa Ratkin, who wrote the book, Mind Over Medicine, excellent book. She was having all these like, you know, healing components, like the belief and and then last one was surrender. And then when she finished the book, she was talking with her advisor about the book, like, you know what, but I think the surrender I put as the last point and it should be the first. And the advisor said, yes, Lisa. So like the surrendering, it's just so big, and sometimes you have so much resistance. Makes me emotional, because it was hard for me to do that, because to see the picture of this face that I really didn't like was horrible. And only when we really start embracing ourselves and doing the work, we can really just jump from the bottom and just rise to the top. And so be better. And so, but sleep is one of the really important as well, because like that's why we have to do a little bit of everything, because if we just do, you know, just surrender and then do nothing, nothing will happen. We will just feel better about ourselves, but we still will have the other stuff. So that's why it's like, that's why it's a holistic approach. It's like bundle of things, and we have to see as a puzzle. And so the sleep, that I finished my thoughts with the sleep, it's really not only physical, but as well, it has as well, when we don't sleep enough, that has some physiological risk as well, like increased impulse behavior. You see it even in children. Then when they don't sleep and they have a lot of sugar, they just like, they crazy, they hyperactive and they impulsive. And that's as well, very often is like not enough sleep. And it's with us as well, with adults. You know, sometimes when it's one midnight and it's like you finishing project, it's many, and then people are really like, they are more impulsive. Anxiety, depression, paranoia, it's all linked to sleep as well. Of course, among other stuff, but sleep is one of the, we can think about these things as well. So getting less than 7 hours of sleep regularly really can lead to any of these conditions. So really your body needs adequate sleep to heal and restore itself. So it's really super important. So I want to really encourage you to prioritize your sleep. And you know, when you will sleep more, you will most likely have less cravings. That's for sure. That's, I told you, so many of my people that I help was the same. It's like it's a template. You sleep more, you eat more food, and suddenly, like, I don't have cravings. And of course, you will always have cravings. Always. I have cravings, but you will manage it. They will not dictate what to do. So again, I tell you my story. So we used to live in Germany as well. And they have like their bakery is like, oh my gosh, it's out of this world. It's like so many little cakes. And it's like, I always went there and I was like salivating. And it was when I did my journey, actually. And I went there one day doing some intense work with this, what I'm teaching you here, with really improving my metabolic health, which is like balance the blood sugar, reduce the cholesterol, you know, improve the weight and reduce the blood pressure, the liver, fatty liver, and so on. And I went there and suddenly I'm thinking, my gosh, I'm not salivating as usual. Because when you it's like you're playing with the brain, because we know that there is this dopamine hit. When we eat chocolate, we hijacking always the brain. So it's like it's working magic, and you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed how everything else will be easier to achieve. You will like to move more. You will have better sleep. So it's kind of like connecting the dots, really, and like doing everything together. It's really crucial. And very many people really suffer from insomnia, and very often is really linked to poor nutrition, I have to say. Not only that, as well, stress itself, but again, it's chicken and egg. So really, if you want to support your weight loss, if you want to support your reducing inflammation and your excuse me, optimizing your health in general, just have a good night's sleep. Because without optimal sleep, it's nearly impossible to sustain our healthy habits and keep overall good health. You know that you will not be able to there will be we have to have sleep, and having really a good night's sleep is essential pillar of health. So that's why I wanted to mention it. Always, sometimes I want to include today, because someone asked me how to really what are the tips to help you maintain healthy sleep schedule. So I want to mention this. Maybe someone, I think the person who asked me, I'm not sure when you hear, I don't see all the people, but so let's see. So try to limit caffeine past noon. I have one client, actually a few, and one was having coffee at 5 and one was having tea at 4, and both couldn't sleep. And when we shifted to latest 1 o'clock, that still they were working on other stuff, but helped them tremendously with their sleep. So caffeine drink, if you're really sensitive, because we have different sensitivity as well as our genetic. Some people, they metabolize caffeine really fast, so you can be fine, but some people they metabolize coffee for, like, it takes really ages. So that's why those are those people who has to be really, you have to be careful when you're drinking your coffee. And as well, don't use coffee to wake you up. Don't do that, because again, you are hijacking your circadian rhythm. So wait, I would always take coffee after hour and a half when you wake up. Anyway, first you should drink tea, herbal tea, or water with lemon. Anyway, never coffee, because this will dehydrate you and might produce headache, migraine, and so on. But always first water. But then if you want to have a coffee, it's fine, because actually coffee has some phytonutrients and is good for you. If you have organic and not is full of this herbicide and pesticide. But it's important to have it hour and a half, so we're not using it as a crutch in our day, because then we don't want to create something that we need like helpers from outside. We want to create something that will sustain, that we will be strong without anything external, if you know what I mean. Like this what we want. Nothing will shake us. We will be really so strong. So coffee, yes, but if you like the taste, or if you just, this is what you do, but not in the morning, and try not to have it too much at night. I know that if you go to Italy, they drink espresso at midnight. They probably have different genetics, so they can do it and they can sleep like like bears. So it's like you have to find out what is for you. And again, keep circadian rhythm in check. Important. So you have to go to bed. So when you go to bed and when you wake should be same time each night and morning. This is how you as well improve your sleep routine, and stick to this bed routine as soon as possible, as best as possible. As well on the weekend, as well on holiday, especially with the children, we see that so well. If they have, some party and then you catching up 2 weeks because the sleep pattern is disruptive. So we are the same. We are adults, but we need a routine as well. We need same time. That's why the night shift workers have such a hard time to put all these healthy practices in place, because it's very hard. You have to do a lot of different things to really achieve the goals. And like, if they're dealing with inflammation or something, it's hard. And so so how you can improve as well the bed routine is try to create calming routine, maybe hour before your bedtime, and some relaxing activities such as reading, meditating, take a bath now with the electricity and water expense. I'm not sure how many times we can have a bath, or how many of you have something that you can go in the sauna or something. But I would not advise to have a cold shower at the evening. If you want cold shower, have it in the morning, which I do every morning. I do cold shower. I do warm, and then I have cold shower, and it's just it give me so much power, because you go through this stress response in a little dose, and then when you become more resilient at the end of it, that's why all these that's why the stress works is always, we always say what doesn't kill you make you stronger, and this is a typical example. The cold shower is like in the beginning, but then you just stand there and you say, okay, this is good, and you just I love it so much. I don't talk about cold shower this time, but it's just because I was talking about this. Just I was remind myself about the cold shower, because it's really I think you see in social media as well, this the ice plunge, like the cold water. This is something that is really, really good, but you have to kind of build, otherwise you can have some issues like we don't want to produce heart attack or something like that. And so we don't talk about that now, so don't do anything. If you want to do more research, I'm not covering this. But regarding back to the bed routine, so no cold shower at the evening, because that will wake you up. We want to wake up in the morning, and try to refrain from using electronic devices. This is something I'm talking to myself too, because sometimes I'm messaging you, messaging to somebody else, basically doing the last work before I go to bed. And this is something I really don't want to do, but it's just like, we have so much, we have all to-do list too long. But we have to do it, because it doesn't help us, especially if you have trouble sleeping. Please don't do that. I don't have trouble sleeping, so I'm like kind of pushing myself and risking that, but it's not good. And I'm honest, like I'm not perfect. So I can tell you that's something that I have to work on myself, because I don't want to be on the phone in front of my children when I'm around them, because I want to lead as example to not be on it. So I have to have some time when I do these messages and stuff like that. And so, but if you are on the phone, so my phone, I always have like the phone is yellow. People say, oh, you have yellow screen. I have the blue light off basically all day, especially for the evening. And then at night, I have the black screen. So it's like all black. If you can set it up, the night mode will be really good on your device. And this helps the blue light really to, if you are being exposed too much, because that can really interfere with our circadian rhythm. But again, I think it's this, if you're not sleeping, buying the blue light blocking glasses, like you can really just not have a look at the phone. It will be better actually. And exercise regularly, but not too much, too close to the bedtime, because again, this will like excite you. That's why the exercise routine should be really done in the morning hours, because this will give you some energy, because exercise. That's why sometimes people say, but I'm so tired. But if you just do the one step, you will see that actually using this muscle will give you energy. And then you say, wow, I didn't want to do it, but actually it feels good. I mean, I'm sure you might experience this. So fasting, we were going through as well. And we were talking as well about loneliness, which is something that, you know, we have to take care of this if we want to create better health. So think about that as well. Really give compassion to yourself and give forgiveness towards yourself, especially every single time. We don't want a negative emotion because that doesn't serve us. We want to take ourselves and really treat us as best as we can. And that's the start point, because then we will be able to reach whatever we want, because we will see this as everything that matters. Because if we don't have this, we don't have life. So we have to take care of it. We don't have much choice, really. And if you feel, you know, if it's something that's bothering you now, if you're miserable about your health or anything, like, yes, it might be, you might be feeling afraid to do the first step, to, you know, assign any programs, not only just mine, but any programs, or to do anything. Yes, people are scared. It's actually one of the reasons people who usually sign up for the program we talk, and they are scared because they don't believe they can do the work. And if there are some examples, like for example, Trisha, she was really like active this week. So if Trisha was really, she did the transformation, she lost like more than 60 pounds. She's not on medication. She had high blood pressure medication. She's not on it. Her husband, he was on cholesterol tablet. He's not on it anymore. So they really, like, she just did so great work. But she said, I didn't believe I can do that. So that's always stopping us. But the risk of doing nothing and just stand still, it's much higher. It's much higher. It's much better to do things, even if it doesn't work. You just, you moved. But I can tell you that if you will do a little step every day, it will work, because it must work. Because if you feel closer and closer to your body, and the body will feel better and better, you will know, you will not need anyone to know what to do. But in the beginning, of course, we need to learn, because the knowledge is power. You have to maybe know a little bit of how the human body works. And what we know now, the new science about epigenetic, about gut microbiome, about all that, maybe through some supplements that you need to have, and really create this your routine, just especially just for you. It's absolutely, it's a game changer. And that's why you asked me yesterday what programs we have. So at the moment now, I'm opening class. You can sign up until next Friday, because the next Friday, it's the last day you can join the Healthier, Happier You program. And there are 3 tiers. So either it's one-to-one, or it's a semi-private, or it's a group program. And of course, that's like the group program. It's so the VIP, it's, you can talk with me every day if you want. It's like, I'm completely devoted in all programs, but time-wise, this is like, if I need to speak with someone one every day to achieve the results, I will do it. The similar is the semi-private, it's less intense, but again, I do all my best to really talk with you when you need to talk to me, and so on. The group program is, we talk with each other every week, and it's like it's less like this. It's more like interactive. You are asking me questions. There's so much of content already in the program, really in much deep. It's very comprehensive. We talk about like cravings. I think it's a 3 hours recordings on cravings. So, you know, you can do everything, and you cover, nothing can surprise you. That's the point. Like, you know, I can tell you my 3 points, 4 points, but you need to know everything. And it's like, okay, what do I do now? So I do this, is not that. This one, I drink, it's not that. I take magnesium, it's not that. I take chromium, it's not that. So it's like, oh yeah, I should be sleeping more. And so you will know, because it's so complex. And the thing is that we don't have enough science to give you prescription as a doctors. And I like doctors, I can tell you, I I feel I meet many of my colleagues who don't believe in this work because they still don't know. They don't know the science behind the microbiome, because this is a new science. And if you're running your daily job, I would not know either if I probably would if I didn't have rosacea, and that completely shift me off to really find something. I don't want to say alternative, but something more that, like, how I put myself back on the path to well-being and optimal health. So so we are opening the programs. It's for people who are really committed, who really want to do the work, because there will be days when you will feel it's like sad, but I will be there always for you. So so the three. But if you want, please schedule a call with me, because it's important to like talk, and I can see that if I can help you, because if I see that, like, if someone is on diabetes, have insulin, yes, we can help you, but it's not for this virtual setting. It's more like if you are coming here to me and then you come to my practice, and I can guide you with the lab work, and like, this is different setting. This is here on the Zoom, and virtually we can do. I can really give you support. I can give you guidance. I can even talk with your doctor about stuff. And but this is like, we're limited, kind of like, I'm not never be your physician, because I'm not equipped with that. I cannot touch you. I cannot see your skin properly, because it's like through Zoom, it's all kind of. So that is to answer your question from yesterday, because I think I didn't answer it properly. I will be happy to have you. The groups are very small. I'm not letting people as a big group in, because I want to serve every one of you. So that's why the groups are limited, and like maximum 10 people usually, so we can really have like create like this nice ambience. And so if anybody's interested, please contact me, and we can schedule a call, and I will be I will be happy to have you, because I would love to have another story to to be that you are a superstar. So this was for today. It was like, I just wanted to really chunk as much as like the basic pillars as I can, because the sleep is really important, the stress is really important. That's why actually we do as well. So actually the two calls are, so not only once a week, but we have as well once a week. Plus these calls, the kind of coaching calls, we have as well meditation and yoga, which is like hour and a half, which is included. And this is with the guys, not with me. Well, I'm there always, but it's with the yogi that actually he was the one who taught me yoga 12 years ago. And he's a German, he's from Germany. And I try yoga all over the world. I try yoga in New York, because we live close to New York. I try yoga in New Jersey. I try yoga in Sydney. I try yoga in Czech Republic. I try yoga here. And he is the best. Like, I never found the better like series that you do. His feels so good, because his exercise like it helps with it's really like, it's not something like that you know, like the girls you see on social media, they're doing all these movements. No, this is really like, you feel so, you have better posture, you feel rejuvenated after the session, you feel relaxed, and it helps you with as well with the lymphatic system. I feel like it's really good. So I'm happy he said yes to this, and we can do it together as well virtually. So that's kind of bonus. But if you want really, please sign up, because if it's full, it's full. I cannot take, because I cannot risk that, I can't count, like it's really 10 people and that's it. So if it's someone interested from this group now, and if you're watching in the Facebook group, just let me know, and we can have a look if we can work together. I will be happy to do that. And I can stay a little bit, well, it will not, I can stay a little bit longer, but I will, so this was for today. I will stop recording and I will start recording again. So because it will not upload to Facebook. All right, so I do this.